Hey guys, it's Yuta. So today I'm going to be reacting to Trevor Noah speaking Japanese. Check this out.
Japanese is easier. 3,000 characters in a stronger language.
Only 3,000 characters. Yeah, so easy. It just takes about 6 years to learn. So easy.
Hey there. I mean, everything in Japanese is strong. Even the greeting. Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa.
Power. Thank you. Domo. Arigato. Power. Yes, that's a great language.
Actually, I think Japanese sounds soft. When I go to other countries and come back to Japan, and hear Japanese, I'm like, oh, Japanese sounds pretty soft. But you could definitely make it sound strong, so repeat after me. 貴様、見ているな? Just kidding, we don't really talk like that.
Say other things as well, like kujire gambare, which means good luck, dolphin.
So kujira actually means whale. Dolphin will be iruka. To humans, all the marine mammals look the same. They are such species.
Granted, not very usable in everyday language, but
Very useful.
it works, I guess.
Just something we say every day.
I could also say other things like newa 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 torigaita, which means look, the chickens are running around.
So at first, I didn't quite understand fully what he said, but it turns out he said, niwa 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 niwatori ga ita, which means something like there were 2 chickens in the garden. The original version of this phrase is pretty famous in Japan, which is niwa 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 niwatori ga iru. But it only works if you get the pitch accent right. Because the thing about this phrase is there's lots of niwa, but Japanese has many words that are same in terms of syllables, but depending on the pitch, it means different things. For example, if you say niwa, it means garden. But if you say niwa, it means something like 2 birds. So depending on the pitch, it can mean different things. So you should say niwa 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 niwatori ga iru. It wouldn't make the same thing if you mess up with the pitch. But here he said ita, which is the past form of iru, to be. So it means there were 2 chickens in the garden. He's talking about the past. By the way, I know it doesn't really matter what it means in terms of understanding the joke, because it really doesn't matter. Most people don't understand Japanese, so I'm only explaining for educational purposes, because otherwise, what's the point of watching Japanese reactions?
You laugh, but I've used this successfully on many occasions. By many occasions, I mean once. I was in an airport, standing at the baggage carousel, and this Japanese guy came and he stood next to me.
How did you know he was Japanese? Good question.
Standing there, and I look at him, and I've been waiting for years to speak Japanese. I was super excited. I was like,
I know this is just a joke, so I'm just throwing random questions.
what? This guy's Japanese. And he's like, I can hear you.
His Japanese accent isn't bad, actually. Let me show you the authentic Japanese accent. What did he say? I can hear you. I can hear you. So yeah, he's not that bad.
I said, oh, sorry, I thought I was thinking. Are you Japanese? He's like, yes, I am a Japanese. I was like, oh.
I am Japanese. Authentic Japanese accent.
Oh. Konnichiwa. He's like, oh. Konnichiwa.
Oh, you see, that's interesting, because first he said konnichiwa, which doesn't sound very fluent because of the pitch thingy I just mentioned. But the second one, when he played the actual Japanese person, his accent improved, which is quite impressive. His accent actually isn't bad.
Pleasure to meet you. I said, oh, domo arigato.
See, what he says mostly makes sense.
Oh, arigato gozaimashita.
Except for that one. That one is just nonsense, just random stuff. It doesn't really mean anything. I think he meant arigatou gozaimashita. Thank you very much.
You speak very good Japanese. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I looked over and I went, kujire gambare. I'm not a dolphin.
Well, understanding Japanese kind of ruins his jokes. But let's move on. So, gambare is more like do your best than a good luck, even though you can use it in a similar way. But so, for example, if somebody's taking a test, you can say gambare. If somebody's getting a job interview, you can also say gambare. Or if you are rooting for a sport team, you can also say gambare. So it works in a similar way, but gambare emphasizes making an effort because Japanese people, we like making an effort.
But thank you for the good luck. I was like, I can't believe this works. Looked over, I was like, oh, niwa, toriga ita. He was like, I don't see the chicken everywhere. You speak a very strange Japanese. Where did you learn?
Yeah, where did you
I
learn?
learned in all the different places, all over my life. Why do you speak English with a Japanese accent now? I don't know. I get carried away. You freaking me out. I'm freaking out too. You guys have been so much fun, man. Thanks for...
Very funny. Oh, I guess I got carried away too. But I wonder where he learned all these phrases, because they're pretty random. And he kind of messed up with the translation. So I wonder where he actually learned these phrases. But I know these are just jokes. It's not important to actually understand Japanese. But if you actually want to understand Japanese and learn about Japanese culture, you should watch other videos of mine because that's what I talk about on my channel. And also, if you want to learn Japanese with me, I can teach you the kind of Japanese that real-life Japanese people actually speak, which can be different from the kind of Japanese that textbooks and apps teach you because it can be unnatural and old-fashioned. So click the link and subscribe to my email group, Japanese with Yuta. Alright, see you guys soon. Ciao, ciao!